Hey everybody, it's Chris E. It's Wootini at GayGamer.net here with another weekly video podcast, and this week it is Gay Pride, hence this outfit. I marched with the Gay Geeks of New York in the New York City Gay Pride March, and I decided to dress as Superman with my red shorts and everything, and I hadn't been feeling well last week, and I was really annoyed, and I was like, crap, because I needed to get better for Pride and for the 4th of July weekend, and I finally started feeling better, but there was no way I was going to miss this Pride because of marriage equality all over the country, which is amazing. I hoped I would see that in my day, but I didn't know that it would happen so soon. My husband and I got married a few years ago, about a year or so after it became legal in New York State, and so, you know, it doesn't affect me, because once it became legal in New York State, we were very happy to finally get married after 20 years together. But then, now I know that everyone else can get married if they want, which is just wonderful and awesome. So I knew that this Pride was going to be a rather spectacular Pride, so I did not want to miss out. So no matter how I feel, I was going to show up at this thing. And it was great, and the crowd was fantastic, and everybody had a great time, and unfortunately I can't stick around for the after parties, because, you know, I've got things to do and work in the morning, so it sucks being a responsible adult. I try to be a responsible adult. Yeah, so that's, sorry, it's a little warm. Which was nice this morning because it started out kind of drizzly and cloudy and rainy, and so I appreciated having the warm cape. But then the sun came out and it got really hot, and I'm like, you know, it's cheap polyester, it's not breathable. As far as games, the big deal is that Batman Arkham Knight was released, and it's great. It's a Batman game. It's like the other Batman games. Two things. One, I find it amusing that the PC version is the one that's all buggy, and they actually had to take it down off Steam because people were wanting their money back. And now I've heard there's also some kind of minor bug in the PS4 version, but I think it only affects leaderboard, so it's nothing to worry about. And meanwhile, I've been playing it on my Xbox One with no problems. Knock wood. So that's a nice change of pace. Not playing the super buggy version of a game. I like it. It's, you know, it's a bit dark, and it's a bit darker than I like my superheroes, but it is Batman, so he's darker anyway, and it's a grim universe that they've established, so it's fine. And it's so much fun to be swinging around the rooftops of Gotham again. The only problem is this time they're like, hey, you can drive the Batmobile. And that's great in theory. In practice, slightly less great. I went to do a Riddler challenge, my first Riddler challenge, and it turned out to be a time trial race where you had to do 3 laps of this underground track while, you know, making the Riddlers, you know, making the walls and the platforms move and shift so that you can get through them or get over them. And that was really annoying. And I struggled with it, and it was the very first one, so I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be doing these Riddler challenges, because they're just going to get harder, and I'm going to reach one that's just going to make me insane, and I'm going to want to kill somebody, and I'll snap my controller in half, and I don't want to have to go out and buy a new controller. So, instead, I will be skipping those. Unfortunately, there are certain things that you simply need to use the Batmobile for. Like, in story missions. Like right off the bat, there was this thing where on this rooftop I needed to get power to an antenna, and I could power it with the Batmobile, so I basically had to drive the Batmobile up onto a roof, and then basically platform across all these roofs and pull myself up. And I'm like, Batman is supposed to be sneaking across rooftops to take out villains unawares. He's stealthy, working in the shadows. He doesn't drive a tank across rooftops. But that's just me. So there's a lot. There's, you know, because the enemies this time around, they've taken over Gotham City, and of course they have tanks. So you have to drive the Batmobile around and shoot tanks, and it's annoying. So it's funny because I will instead fly around the city and glide and shoot my bat grapple and shoot off the buildings and fly around and stuff, because that's what I like doing. And then I'll eventually hit something where they're like, oh, no, you need your Batmobile. You should have been driving around your Batmobile. And I'm like, pfft. So then I have to summon the Batmobile to my location because I'm not driving around the city in the Batmobile. I feel like I should be, because I feel like I'm probably missing stuff, because I think you're meant to drive around, and I think you're probably missing things, but I much prefer to stick to the rooftops, because it's Batman, and that's what he does. I mean, yes, he drives the Batmobile, but, I don't know, I'm not really enjoying the Batmobile, and I'm very concerned that later on there's going to come a story-dictated mission where you have to use the Batmobile, and it's annoying, like the Riddler thing, and it won't be optional, and it's going to make me insane, and I'm going to have someone come over to my house and do that mission for me, because I'm not good at driving games. So yeah, so that's enough for this week. Enjoy yourself. Next week's might be a little late because it's the 4th of July holiday and I'm going away. Let me know how you think Batman's doing, if you're playing it, if you're enjoying the Batmobile. And let me know how you celebrated Gay Pride this month. Either in the comments on YouTube or on gaygamer.net. And I will see you back here next week when I will be dressed like a normal person again. Bye!